Hello everyone, my name is James Graves and I will be talking to you about public Wi-Fi security today. Here's an overview of what I will be discussing today. First, I will discuss why are public Wi-Fi networks insecure. Next, the security dangers of public Wi-Fi. And finally, tips to avoid public Wi-Fi security risks. Why are public Wi-Fi networks insecure? Well, any network that does not require you to enter a password or log in credentials to use the network is considered an unsecured Wi-Fi network, which are mostly public Wi-Fi networks. These public Wi-Fi networks also involve unencrypted connections, making an easy target for cyber criminals. With public Wi-Fi hotspots found everywhere now, in coffee shops, hotels, and airports, you can find plenty of places to log onto the internet with your mobile device. But this free access doesn't necessarily come with a secure network, and we should definitely take that into consideration. The security dangers of public Wi-Fi. Hackers, snoops. These insecure public Wi-Fi networks makes it easy for hacker snoops to monitor everything you do. Next, malware, which is a very dangerous software which unsecured networks allow attackers to install and be used to access everything as far as your sensitive information. Man-in-the-middle attacks, which I will explain later. And finally, rogue hotspots, which are fake networks set up by attackers to trick you. Hackers, snoops. These hackers can infiltrate unsecured Wi-Fi networks and use them to collect personal details on sensitive login information. These public Wi-Fi networks make it very easy for hackers to collect personal details or your sensitive information, like login passwords, credit card information, and content of communication. Malware. As I mentioned before, this software can give an attacker access to everything on your device. And unsecured Wi-Fi networks can be used to inject this malware software into devices connected to the network. Man-in-the-middle attacks. Man-in-the-middle attack occurs when a malicious actor intercepts communication between two people and inserts themselves into the conversation. The criminal can then access information being sent and intercept personal data, all without the senders or recipients knowing. So, while you're on this public Wi-Fi, you won't even know that you're being attacked. As it said, it can intercept personal data, all without the senders or recipients knowing. The public Wi-Fi networks increase the man-in-the-middle attacks tremendously. Rogue hotspots. These are hotspots that are set up by criminals using a name close to that of the actual legitimate Wi-Fi hotspots. As you can see in the picture on the cell phone here, you have airport Wi-Fi and public Wi-Fi. These are the legitimate Wi-Fi hotspots. And below, you have free airport Wi-Fi, free public Wi-Fi. These here are the fake Wi-Fi networks that are set up by attackers to trick you. And when you connect to one of these networks, you become vulnerable to hacking, snooping, conducted by the owner of the fake network. And once you log into that, these attackers will have access to everything as far as your sensitive information. Tips to avoid public Wi-Fi security risks. When you want to log in to a public Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or airport, let's say airport, first thing that you need to do is verify your connection. Ask an employee what the actual public Wi-Fi network is to avoid connecting to a fake network. Next, you should avoid checking sensitive information. Avoid checking your social media, avoid checking your emails, and especially avoid checking your banking information while you are logged in to public Wi-Fi. Next, you should always use a VPN if you have access, which is a virtual private network connection. Here the data will be strongly encrypted, making it very hard for the hackers to gain access to your sensitive information. Next, you should turn off sharing settings so others on the network cannot access your information. When your sharing settings is on your mobile devices, any person that is on that network can access your information. So make sure you turn off that sharing setting. Next, you should use two-factor authentication for all login credentials on accounts. You should turn off Wi-Fi whenever you aren't using it. This prevents it from automatically connecting to a public Wi-Fi network and putting you at risk. Next, you should always use HTTPS for websites you visit. Enabling the HTTPS option on website, this will also add a layer of encryption. Most websites that require an account or credentials have the HTTPS option, so make sure you take full advantage of it. Use a firewall. Finally, update your settings to forget network, preventing these networks from being saved on your phone and automatically connecting without you knowing. It can be both fun and relaxing to sit back and surf the web while you enjoy a latte at a coffee shop. And sometimes it is important to check in on your bank account, webmail, or social sites while traveling. But keep in mind that connecting to public Wi-Fi hotspots can pose a risk. Imagine what could happen if the wrong people had your bank login information. So be mindful of your surfing habits and use those tips to help stay safe and secure online while using public Wi-Fi. Next, I have a short 2-minute video which explains how these cyber criminals can use public Wi-Fi and how it's way easier for them to gain access of your sensitive information. And also, it shows you how to use the tips to avoid this.
People use public Wi-Fi all the time. At a coffee shop, in a hotel lobby, or while waiting at the airport. However, there are many security dangers that lurk on public Wi-Fi networks. Data sent through public Wi-Fi networks can easily be intercepted by cybercriminals. If you use a public Wi-Fi, your personal data could be at risk. A common danger is fake public Wi-Fi networks. These have similar sounding names to legitimate public Wi-Fi networks and are meant to trick and confuse you. Once you connect to this fake Wi-Fi network, everything you do online is monitored by cybercriminals who scan your activity for banking and social media login information. Public Wi-Fi connections can also be used to distribute malware. Cybercriminals can easily plant viruses and other malicious software onto your computer via an unsecure Wi-Fi connection, causing serious damage to your computer and jeopardizing your personal information. Luckily, there are ways to stay safe on public Wi-Fi. 1. Verify your connection. Be sure to ask an employee what the actual public Wi-Fi is to avoid connecting to a bogus network. 2. Avoid checking sensitive data. Unless it's absolutely necessary, Hold off on logging into your social media, email, and especially financial accounts while on public Wi-Fi. 3. Turn off sharing. Be sure to turn off sharing while you're on public Wi-Fi. If you leave it on while in a public place, cybercriminals can easily gain access to sensitive personal information and files. 4. Use a VPN. If you need to check sensitive data like your banking account while on public Wi-Fi, use a virtual private network or a VPN. Even if a cybercriminal positions himself in the middle of your connection, your data will be strongly encrypted. 5. Turn your Wi-Fi off when you're done. Even if you haven't actively connected to a network, the Wi-Fi hardware in your computer can still be transmitting data with any network in range. If you are through using the internet, ensure that your Wi-Fi is turned off. Understanding public Wi-Fi risks will ensure your important data doesn't fall into malicious hands. Follow these tips and stay protected with a trusted internet security software in order to stay safe on public Wi-Fi.